Hello, my name's Sandy Bryden. I have sarcoma. I've made this short presentation for three particular reasons. One, to help friends and family understand what sarcoma is. Two, to help people newly diagnosed with sarcoma understand what they have and where it fits into the cancer picture, as I found it very difficult when I was first diagnosed, had very little knowledge. And three, it's July, it's Sarcoma Awareness Month. So the first question I'd like to address is, what is sarcoma? Sarcoma is a type of cancer. It's a rare type of cancer. Sarcomas are rare cancers that develop in muscle, bone, cartilage, nerves, tendons, blood vessels, fibrous and fatty tissues, in fact everywhere outside of an organ. That's the problem, is sarcomas are in places you wouldn't normally expect cancer to be. There are about 80 different types of subtypes of sarcoma, and they fall into three main categories. We have soft tissue sarcoma, that's me, bone sarcoma, and gastrointestinal stromal tumours, otherwise known as GIST, and these are soft tissue sarcomas in the stomach and the intestines. We have a number of types of sarcoma. We have bone sarcoma, so Ewing's, osteosarcoma, chondrosarcoma, chordoma. Ewing sarcoma is the one you typically hear when you hear about children having sarcoma. They're the ones that usually make the press, and they tend to be in young children. There are other sarcomas which are more predominantly found in older people. We have a number of soft tissue sarcomas, lymosarcoma, liposarcoma. Lipo is found in fatty tissues. Leiomyosarcoma is in muscular tissue. We've already mentioned the GISTs. These are the more common types of tumours. I have undifferentiated pleomorphic sarcoma, UPS. This is very rare, and it's more of a diagnosis of exclusion. What that means is you have your tumour tested, and if it doesn't fit into the other 80 odd categories, then you would be defined as having UPS. Undifferentiated, as in the cells, you think of them as really young cells. This is why they use stem cells, because they haven't actually developed into any particular cell. Pleomorphic, the cells are all different shapes and sizes, spindle cells, giant cells. So it is really just, it doesn't fit into another category. How rare is sarcoma? About 1% of all sarcomas are, 1% of all cancers are sarcoma. In the UK, there are about 2,800 new cases every year. If you then extrapolate, the UK population is upwards of 65 million. So of the 1% of cancers that are sarcomas, less than 1% of all sarcomas are UPS. That equates to less than 28 people a year. But UPS is usually found in the limbs, the arms, the leg, the butt. This makes me exceptionally rare, sort of 1 in 65 million. My primary site was my stomach. There's no cure around the corner. It's not, a GIST is a relatively simple sarcoma. One gene can be targeted. UPS affects multiple genes, multiple mutations, and we need lots and lots of research to investigate these sorts of cancers further. As my doctor said to me last week, these may be rare. A lot of money goes understandably into breast cancer, prostate cancer, but people with sarcomas still need to be treated. We still need to be looked after, and we still need research to actually help understand how these diseases work. And I think a lot of sarcomas go undiagnosed as well, for reasons that we'll talk about soon. The treatments involved can be surgery, radiotherapy and chemotherapy. Initially I had surgery. We didn't quite know what sarcoma it was at the time. I will not have radiotherapy because I have multiple genes and they're very well spread out, so it doesn't make a good target for radiotherapy. I have had chemotherapy. There are a number of types of chemotherapy. I've had doxorubicin, ifosfamide. Unfortunately, though doxorubicin works, I've had my lifetime dose. The types of chemo depends on the stage, the grade, the type. It may work for one, so it doesn't particularly work for GISTs. They'll use a particular drug called Gleevec, which is more successful. And the other type of treatment, which is what I've been on since August, is palliative care. That's end-of-life care, just making your life as comfortable as possible. I'm unable to have further operations. There are so many tumours. My type of cancer travels in the bloodstream. I've already had one operation and it's spread. So to have an operation, I don't particularly want another operation, and the tumours would just spread further. So it's not really an option because there's an exceptionally high chance of it returning. One thing I didn't understand about when I first had sarcoma was the grading, the staging. People say, what stage, what grade? And I thought, I really don't know. Do I want to know? We have low grade, high grade. So low grade is slow, less aggressive, more normal types, going up to the high grade where they're fast growing, they're aggressive, and they look abnormal. The stages, again, from 1 to 4. Stage 1 being it's small, low grade, less than 5 centimetres. Quite often, if you have the larger tumours, they want to try therapy, chemotherapy, to shrink the tumours to an operable size. I am stage 4. It's spread it to other parts of the body now, and I'm just taking each day and doing things like videos to promote awareness. Quite often you'll find that sarcomas are misdiagnosed. I was initially told, the first time I went to the doctor, that I had stress. My pain was just below my ribs. The doctor said there was nothing there. Nothing there as in there aren't any organs. I knew it wasn't stress because I'm not a stressful person. Just by luck we took a blood test because I'd lost a lot of weight and ended up with a diagnosis ultimately of UPS. I have a friend who I've met on the various Facebook forums who also has UPS, but this is of her bone, which again is very, very rare. And she made this wonderful little video clip just explaining how important it is that you have to be careful when you get any lumps, bumps, swellings, to go to the doctor. If it's not acting normally, if it doesn't go away, if you're losing weight, to actually get it looked at.